All right, Schlockmeisters fans, time to watch a movie I haven't seen in probably 25 years. I don't remember anything about it. It's Prophecy. Let's check it out. Our movie starts with some people chasing something at night. And chases it right off a cliff. So they venture down into that gully. And this is the next morning's aftermath. Talia Shire plays Maggie, and she's pregnant.
Maggie, you're pregnant. And it's your body and it's your choice. And if what you want to do in this world is make a beautiful baby, then nobody, including a cynical husband, has the right to stand in your way.
Her husband Rob is played by Robert Foxworth. He's some sort of doctor or scientist. You can always tell because of the white suit. He's going to be sent to Maine.
I'm a doctor, and you know how to deal with human beings. The Indians are angry, and so's the lumber company. If we don't get full cooperation from both of them, we're going to have a lot of trouble getting enough information for a thorough report.
So they go to Maine to investigate whatever's happening up there.
That's one of their legends. They call it Katahdin. Yeah, sort of a Bigfoot, I guess. Only uglier. Yeah, it's larger than a dragon.
They run into John Hawkes. Native Americans don't want these people on their land.
No car from the lumber company gets through here.
Well, a standoff ensues, a fight, chainsaws are drawn. Against John's wishes, the gate is opened. Chainsaw's pretty damn close to his neck. While he's out fishing, he sees a little ducky get sucked under by a gigantic salmon. I'm no expert on salmon, but I guess that's a pretty big one.
I swear, Maggie, that must have been a world's record. I've never heard of such a big salmon.
Well, then they get attacked by some sort of possessed raccoon. Rob meets with John.
And that we're murderers. And that's what they're saying about us in Washington, because they're discounting our rights with these lies. I can understand how you must feel.
Of all things created, and he bears a mark of each of God's creatures.
Apparently the creature called Catadon.
He has wakened to protect us.
What does this pond feed into?
Well, this logging company nearby, he's starting to suspect that there's some sort of toxic waste leaking into that, which could be causing havoc on the environment and those giant creatures.
Ponds, Holman ponds, probably. Soak them up, soak them. Do you, soak them in chemicals? Well, you're getting out of my area yet. Transport's handled by a private contractor. It's heavier than water. That silvery stuff on your boot. Is it dry?
Yes.
They gave us a trick question in medical school. What's the only liquid in the world that isn't wet?
What was the answer?
Mercury. It's methylmercury poisoning, that's what it is. This whole place has been contaminated.
How do you know?
A couple of people backpacking. Well, people are suspecting the Indians there of doing something. Clearly there's some big creature here, though. It's not anything the Native Americans are doing. And then later on they find two baby whatevers trapped in a net. One of them's still alive. So they take the baby back.
Did you stop it? I'm pregnant. And I ate what the mother of those creatures ate. It's not a nightmare that's going to end. It's just beginning because it's inside me.
Methyl mercury spilling out of your plant.
And we're going to get a good glimpse of the creature here. It looks like it's some sort of deformed bear. Well, those who survive are able to run into these tunnels that are nearby, where the deformed bear can't go. After a while, one guy decides to venture out to take a look. Not smart. Our next victim. The survivors jump into the water so they can cross this lake to get to this cabin. And I guess the bear can't follow in the water? On the contrary. Looking like Godzilla. The final showdown set to occur. That's the end of John Hawkes. Eventually they're able to subdue the creature, and Rob jumps in to finish it off. But of course, as they fly off, we get our final scene. Prophecy 2. Alright, let's talk about Prophecy. Terror is Born. I saw this movie once before. I taped this movie back probably in 1997-ish or so. I don't know if it came on cable or if I rented it and copied it. I think it came on cable, actually, and that's where I got it from. I remembered literally nothing about this movie when I popped it in today, having not seen it in probably 25 years. So anyway, so we got a movie here. This scientist guy, doctor, goes to Maine with his wife. His wife is Talia Shire from the Rocky movies. And he's supposed to go up there. There's some sort of dispute with the local Indians and this logging company. And ultimately what we find out is this logging company is leaking toxic waste into this water, this bay, whatever it is. And it's affecting the creatures. Like at one point he sees this gigantic salmon jump out of the water, much bigger than it ever should be. And of course there's something going around killing people. Now the Indians think it's some sort of prophecy creature named Katahdin or something like that, which is, I guess, a big bear, I guess. And that's what we ultimately see. This creature, we do see it a few times, resembles a big bear. I think it was a bear at one point. Bears are vicious enough as they are, but when you add the toxic waste element to them, they become like toxic super bears. And this one gave birth to a couple of baby bears, toxic baby bears, which they find later on. One of them's dead, and then they take the other one because it was still alive to look at it and whatever. And I guess Mama Toxic Bear didn't like that, so she went looking for them, and she ultimately found them. The bear kills a few people along the way, chops this one guy's head off, eats a few people. Ultimately, they have this showdown at the end in this cabin somewhere in the woods. It crosses the water. In fact, it reminded me so much of the Godzilla movies when you see Godzilla kind of wading through the ocean and stuff. That's what it looked like here. But he pops out of the water, goes on a rampage, and they ultimately kill him. They shoot him with some arrows and whatever else, and they kill the creature. And of course, the last scene in the movie is the creature coming up and looking like it's very much alive and setting up the door for a Prophecy 2, which to this day hasn't happened. 42 years later now. 1979, this thing came out. Wow. So anyway, that's Prophecy. Apparently, this movie was quite respected at the time. John Frankenheimer directed this movie. Although it's kind of a forgotten film at this point. Like I said, I forgot it even though I'd seen it before. I knew the title, but I didn't know anything about it. I thought it was an okay film. The gore is actually pretty decent in this movie, and there are some decent scenes of it too, because there's a lot of messiness going on. Like I said, there's a decapitation too, some ripping and tearing of some bodies and stuff. No nudity to speak of in this movie, unless you count the bear. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So it's just your typical 1970s monster movie. Guy in a rubber suit, or in this case, a bear suit, or a toxic bear suit. So yeah, that's it. I ain't got much more to tell you about it. Prophecy, it's available on DVD. I don't think it's available on Blu-ray. Actually, now that I think about it, I actually think I may have seen Blu-ray floating around on websites and such. But anyway, you can get the DVD. I imagine it's pretty inexpensive. Paramount put this out. I don't think it's out of print, but who knows? I'll leave a link to Amazon down below if you're looking to purchase this thing. It's not a bad film. It's just, I guess it's not very memorable to me, but maybe I'll remember it now. Like I said, it's been almost 25 years since the last time I watched it, so you can forget a lot in that time. Check it out. Leave some comments. Let me know what you think about it. It's Prophecy. Watch it. Bye.